Tonight, on To the Point, the controversial Delta Tunnel project.
This is a critical moment, simply put.
As more funding is approved, how Delta residents are responding and what could happen next. Plus, the demolition of Hotel Marysville begins, why it's being torn down, and the impact to nearby businesses.
A series of atmospheric rivers and storm systems making their way across Northern California. How many days we could see this wet weather?
And later, Sacramento County Public Health announces a new national accreditation, what it means for homelessness and the community.
Good evening. As always, thank you so much for joining us here on To the Point. I'm Alex Bell. Tonight, the Delta Conveyance Project is closer to becoming a reality after the state's largest water supplier approved nearly $142 million for pre-construction costs. Building a tunnel under the Delta to reroute water to Southern California has been very controversial. There has been a decades-long battle over the project. And tonight, ABC 10's Jeannie Nguyen shares how the San Joaquin area is responding and what could happen next.
The motion passes.
With nearly all board members of the Metropolitan Water District of Southern California voting in favor, $141.6 million is now approved to go towards the Delta Conveyance Project pre-construction.
This is a critical moment, simply put.
Right now, water transported from the Delta happens by pumping into the California aqueduct. The current system was built in the mid-1900s to handle a population and climate that no longer exists today. That's why the state wants to build one 45-mile tunnel under the Delta to reroute water. Prior plans called for 2 tunnels.
The cornerstone of your water supply for decades has been the Sierra Nevada. And it's the cornerstone of a lot of communities' water supply over decades. And that supply is under threat.
Organizations like Restore the Delta in Stockton have opposed this plan for years.
This truly is a move that furthers an unjust water grab for California's Delta communities. It is also not consistent with the California Environmental Quality Act.
The organization already sued the state, claiming the project would have negative impacts on the environment. Cases are still ongoing. During the board's meeting on Tuesday, many people showed up to voice their support.
Investment in DCP is critical to the water supply security of Main Basin.
And opposition urging the board to not approve the funding.
It's just another drop in a proverbial bucket with a lot of leaks in terms of the money.
Congressman Josh Harder, who represents Delta communities, agrees.
The state of California is projecting it's going to cost over $20 billion.
Harder even introduced the Stop the Delta Tunnel Act bill in 2023. He says following Tuesday's funding vote in Southern California, he's continuing to work on the bill to make it a bipartisan issue.
It would ban any permit from moving forward and kill this project once and for all. We could have and should have done it decades ago and stopped this project before it continues to take more money from taxpayer pockets.
In Sacramento, Jeannie Nguyen, ABC 10.
The chair of the Metropolitan Water District of Southern California says even with this vote, it does not authorize the board to participate in the project. He says that this is the board's way of potentially participating. A key vote on whether the Delta Tunnel should move forward is expected to happen in 2027. Now, the ABC 10 Weather Impact Team took a closer look at the Delta Conveyance Project in their Emmy-winning series, Water Wasted. It is on the homepage of our ABC 10 Plus streaming app. All you have to do is just look for Water Wasted on the home screen. The app is available wherever you stream. It's the end of an era. Demolition started today at the historic Hotel Marysville. Earlier this year, the hotel was deemed a total loss because of a fire, leading to months of frustration between the city and the former owners. Marysville mayor says the demolition follows a settlement against the former owners of the hotel. It ended with the city gaining ownership and receiving $700,000, which will go towards the demolition of the building. And road closures also greatly impacted Highway 70 traffic, causing nearby businesses to lose business.
There was a day when that hotel was a centerpiece of Marysville society. As such, you'd think there'd be more sadness and celebration and honoring the past. The trouble is, for the past 3 decades, it's been a scar on the city.
Altogether, demolition will cost close to $1 million. The mayor says the main road impacting traffic on Highway 70 should reopen sometime in January. Tonight, a devastating loss for Chico. A fire has destroyed the historic Bidwell Mansion. Fire crews were called to an illegal burn at the mansion around 3 a.m. this morning. The mansion is a California state park featuring a 3-story Victorian-style house museum dedicated to socialites John and Annie Bidwell. It was undergoing a restoration project and was set to reopen in early 2025. But the cause of the fire is still under investigation. A Woodland man accused of manslaughter in the death of a toddler is no longer facing criminal charges. Julio Navarro Vidrio was charged back in May after allegedly leaving his 3-year-old unattended in an idle truck at a gas station. Investigators say the child managed to put that truck in drive, which led to it rolling, hitting, and killing 2-year-old Alani Sanchez Martinez. A Yolo County grand jury dismissed the charges after determining there was not enough proof to charge him. The family of Alani told us outside court today that they are devastated and hope to reopen the case. California's election results will be certified on Friday. Today, Secretary of State Shirley Weber spoke about the ballot counting and certification process.
We prioritize accuracy and inclusion. This means taking the time necessary to ensure every eligible vote is counted, whether it is cast by mail, in person, or through same-day registration. Counties have published daily updates on unprocessed ballots, and observers have been able to monitor the counting and certification processes.
Weber adds that California's voter population increased by 16% since 2016, with more than 22 million people now registered to vote across our state. Turning now to the Trump transition, FBI Director Christopher Wray says that he will resign at the end of President Biden's term and before President-elect Trump takes the oath of office. Wray, who still had 3 more years to serve in his 10-year term, made the announcement today at an FBI town hall. Trump handpicked Wray back in 2017 to replace James Comey after he was fired, but their relationship soured after Wray labeled the January 2021 Capitol attack as a domestic terrorism act. In March, Trump accused the FBI of being weaponized against him during the investigation into the handling of his classified documents. House Speaker Mike Johnson is calling this a new day in America.
It's a new day in America. We need a change at the FBI. I was on Judiciary, as you know. We used to investigate all the what I regard to be abuses there, and it's time for new leadership.
Trump has also signaled he wants a change at the Bureau, naming Kash Patel to be the new FBI director. However, a major question that still needs to be answered is who will oversee the FBI in the time between Wray resigns and a new director takes over. The House today passed an $895 billion national defense bill. It's one of the final measures that lawmakers view as a must-pass before a new congressional term, and it includes a 1% increase in defense spending, a double-digit pay raise to about half of the country's enlisted service members. The bill also prohibits funding for teaching critical race theory in the military and prohibits TRICARE health plans from covering gender dysphoria treatment for children under the age of 18 if that treatment could result in sterilization. The bill now heads to the Senate for a vote. Still ahead, new evidence in the killing of UnitedHealthcare's CEO and the new warning from law enforcement about potential copycats.
And the first of a series of storms set to arrive tonight. How much rain and snow is in the forecast?
Taking a look at the Franklin fire here in Malibu, it has now scorched more than 4,000 acres. Firefighters say at least 7 structures have been destroyed, 9 others damaged. Santa Ana winds helping fuel the fire, at times exceeding 90 miles per hour. Tonight, thousands of people remain under evacuation orders. Back here in Sacramento, meteorologist Carly Gomez is tracking a weather impact alert here. We're going to see some rain in the forecast.
Yeah, rain is returning after being gone for 15 days. We saw our last rain November 26th. Now it's finally headed our way, and we're getting a series of storms rolling in, the first one tonight into tomorrow. And then on Saturday, the next storm system set to arrive with another weather impact alert day for Saturday. We'll get overnight rain to afternoon rain and snow for tomorrow. That'll lead to anywhere from 1/4 to 1.5 inches of rain, and we can see as much as 4 to 12 inches of snow. Now, as we move into Saturday, we can pretty much double some of these numbers, expecting a little bit more of that rain and snow as well for Saturday. A winter weather advisory in place tonight, 10 p.m. until 4 p.m. on Thursday. Now, we're also looking at a coastal flood advisory. If you had plans to head to the coast this weekend, just be aware if you're looking at areas around the bay, we could see some high tides leading to areas of flooding, especially near parking lots, things of that sort. So make sure you are keeping that in mind as you're heading out there. All right, let's time this all out for you. Rain arrives into the early morning hours, 4:30 a.m. Heavy at times with snowfall as well, passing through a small break until lunchtime. More of that rain pushing through, especially further south during that evening commute with more of that snowfall as well. The next storm system arriving Saturday. Again, we could get as much as a quarter to a half inch of rain and maybe up to about an inch near Grass Valley and some of those foothill spots. Those numbers really starting to add up as we move towards Saturday as well. Now, snowfall anywhere from maybe 2 to 8 inches. And then finally, that can really start picking up for us moving towards Sunday, as much as a foot to maybe a foot and a half of rainfall. That's the first atmospheric river. The next one Saturday, and then one more for us coming on Monday. So we have about 3 storms headed our way. We'll see weather impact alerts with mid-50s for Thursday and Saturday, then upper 50s into next week.
Next, on To the Point, what we're learning tonight about the suspect in the killing of UnitedHealthcare's CEO. Plus, Sacramento County Public Health announces a new national accreditation, what it means for the community. Turning now to the murder investigation of UnitedHealthcare's CEO, the NYPD says they have new evidence linking the suspect, 26-year-old Luigi Mangione, to the shooting death of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson. The defense attorney representing Mangione says his client will plead not guilty. ABC's Rena Roy is following the developments from New York tonight.
New forensic evidence potentially linking 26-year-old Luigi Mangione to the New York City crime scene, where UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson was gunned down 1 week ago. Police saying fingerprints recovered from a water bottle and granola bar found at the scene match the fingerprints taken from Mangione in Altoona, Pennsylvania, where he was arrested Monday. The gun police say they found on Mangione also linking him to the scene.
We were able to match that gun to the 3 shell casings that we found in Midtown at the scene of the homicide.
A judge denying bail, Mangione fighting extradition to New York, where he faces second-degree murder charges. Mangione's defense attorney says he plans to plead not guilty to those charges.
We've seen no evidence. That's one of the many reasons why we're challenging the extradition at this point, so we can see some evidence and get a little more detailed information about the charges against Luigi.
Law enforcement officials telling ABC News when Mangione was arrested, he had a spiral notebook with writings about planning to kill Thompson. Writing in part, "What do? You whack the CEO at the annual parasitic bean counter convention," seemingly referring to the investors conference Thompson was walking into when he was shot. Sources say detectives are still examining Mangione's writings, but are considering the contents of the notebook to represent a possible confession. Pennsylvania investigators have also started interviewing members of Mangione's family, who he seemed to have been estranged from, his mother filing a missing persons report last month, according to law enforcement sources. Since the killing, corporate executives have faced increased threats of doxing, targeted harassment, and violence, according to a law enforcement bulletin obtained by ABC News. The document includes a photo of this banner draped on a highway overpass that includes the words "deny, defend, depose," the same words police said were found on shell casings at the scene of Thompson's murder.
The Manhattan District Attorney's Office says it will seek a governor's warrant to try to force Mangione's extradition from Pennsylvania to New York. New York's governor says she will sign that request. Secretary of State Antony Blinken today saying the U.S.'s decision to withdraw from Afghanistan was the right one. It comes as Blinken testified on Capitol Hill today about the 2021 U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan.
All of us, including myself, have wrestled with what we could have done differently during that period and over the preceding 2 decades.
The U.S. started its withdrawal under President Trump when he signed a deal with the Taliban back in 2020. The chaotic end happening 7 months into President Biden's term. In August of 2021, an ISIS-K suicide bomber killed 13 U.S. service members, including Marine Sergeant Nicole G. from Roseville, and injuring 45 others.
And I think today especially of the 13 heroes that we lost at Abbey Gate, and I deeply regret that we did not do more and could not do more to protect them.
A review by the U.S. Central Command found the terrorist attack was, quote, not preventable. The closed down Oakmore Golf Course in Stockton will soon have a new owner, but not everyone's happy about it. In a unanimous vote, the San Joaquin County Board of Supervisors agreed to purchase this 67-acre site off Wilson Way. It will cost the county nearly $9.6 million. An idea that county officials have been floating around is to use part of the site for safe camping before relocating 5 county facilities to the site. Many business owners and community members in the area spoke out in opposition to the purchase.
We understand that there's a need for people to have shelters and different things, but we want to be a part of this.
Neighbors say they are forming a group to follow any developments with the property. The county expects escrow to close on or around January 3rd. They say any future developments of the site, including the safe camping, would, of course, have to go through reviews and public input. Responding to public health threats and working with the unhoused community. Sacramento County Public Health does that and more, and now they are being recognized nationally and says that it enables them to serve the community even better. ABC 10's Becca Habegger explains tonight.
One of the things that we've been doing is actually having a van with medical staff that actually go out to some of these shelters and provide services such as STD testing, wound care.
Dr. Olivia Casirier is Sacramento County's public health officer. She says Sacramento County Public Health Services does a lot to keep people safe, from mobile clinics serving the unhoused community to staying on top of emerging threats.
Things like avian flu, things like Mpox, foodborne illnesses, COVID, flu.
It's good and important work, she says, that will get even better. That's because Sacramento County Public Health just announced it has received national recognition from the Public Health Accreditation Board.
This accreditation is basically a way of us demonstrating that we are committed, that our staff are getting all the training that they need, that our Board of Supervisors is committed in providing us with the funding that we need in order to make sure that our communities are safe.
She says this newly announced accreditation means not only is the county's public health department up to the standards of this national board funded by the CDC and Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, but also Sacramento County is committed to continuous improvement. That's built into the process since the accreditation only lasts 5 years before the county has to reapply, and they must submit annual reports along the way.
This will give us an opportunity over the next 5 years to really capitalize on quality improvement.
ABC 10 also spoke with members of the county's accreditation team, which says community partners and their input are key to improvement.
It's becoming more of a community-based project, and we're very proud of that and all the partners that are involved in that.
Sacramento County joins 24 other California counties with this national accreditation and more than 400 local, state, and tribal public health departments nationwide.
Next on To The Point, it's the season of gift giving, how one Placerville family is paying it forward and giving back to kids. Welcome back. This is a live look at the state capitol tonight. Governor Gavin Newsom is hosting the annual state capitol tree lighting. It's starting at about 7 o'clock tonight, and this is the 93rd year of the ceremony. So we'll be following that. All right, during the holiday season, there are so many ways that people can give back. But for some people, like Jorge Aguilar, giving back is a year-round effort. After an unforgettable experience as a kid, he turned his passion into a lesson that he is now passing down to his own children.
Getting a toy from Santa.
We got to tell him what we wanted for Christmas, and he handed us a toy.
Is a moment Jorge Aguilar will never forget.
We grew up poor, and my parents were farm workers. They didn't really have a lot to give us many gifts.
Toys for Tots.
I was a recipient when I was a kid.
Helped Jorge's family pass on a little Christmas cheer.
Having somebody other than my parents give me a toy, knowing somebody else cared that much, helped me.
He didn't know it at the time, but this white box with the red writing would come back into his life. This time, he wouldn't be a recipient, but a Toys for Tots volunteer.
I took that ball and ran with it. I got my family involved, my kids. It's become a family affair. It's become a passion of mine.
Passing on a passion to his sons.
They wanted to start donating. Through this, they see how I help. They see how we help others. And I remember trying not to get teary-eyed, but they bought a toy and they donated it. My youngest still goes to distribution days with me, and we pack up toys.
Passing on toys to kids who were once like him.
You put the toy in the box, and you never know who it's going to be for. A child that doesn't have, or whose parents, like in my case, were on fixed income.
Jorge passing on hope and kindness.
40 years later, it's still stuck with me.
Creating a memory of a lifetime for another kid.
I never forgot that one toy that was handed to me.
And Jorge says Toys for Tots is not just collecting donations for Christmas. The need is all year round. They help kids in foster care and those who are displaced after natural disaster. So if you would like to donate, make sure you go to our links mentions page on abc10.com. And our team is always looking for ways to share your story. So if you or someone that you know is doing something great in our community, please reach out and let us know. To the Point does not end here. To watch stories featured on our show, download our free ABC 10 Plus app. We'll see you right back here tomorrow. Have a great night. Hey, it's Alex. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. The To The Point team and I love hearing from you, and I hope that you'll stay in touch. And don't forget, you can always email me and the team at tothepoint@abc10.com, or you can even send us a text message at 916-321-3310.
Thanks for watching ABC 10 Plus. And now that you're here, why don't we take a look around and see what else is here? The very first tile on your left is always going to be streaming 24/7. You can find us adjacent to that, breaking news if it's there. And then right next to that, a replay of the most recent newscast. Whether it's ABC 10 Morning News at 5, 6, or beyond, it's going to be there. The forecast beyond that, and then right beyond that, the news that matters the most. Now that you know the basic tiles, let's go up to the top and take a deeper dive into news. We have every single newscast that you would need, including To The Point with Alex Bell, taking a deeper dive into the issues. Beyond that, ABC 10 Morning News at 5 and 6 and 11, the evening shows as well. Below that, you can watch the top stories from To The Point. Under that, Dollars and Cents, where you can learn how to navigate this challenging economy. And below that, you can watch our award-winning ABC 10 Special Investigations, where we hold the powerful accountable. Going into weather, look, it's the 10-day forecast, getting you ready for the weekend and beyond. Beyond that, sports. I know you care about the Sacramento Kings. We have the most comprehensive guide to anything, everything Kings in the locker room and on the court. We have it. Below that, I know you care about the San Francisco 49ers. We can't mention Bay Sports without talking about the Oakland A's. We have that too. What's super exciting, I know you care about high school sports. You'll never find a more comprehensive guide and team dedicated to high school sports. Backing out again, come up to the top and join me on Verify. I'm super excited about this. Our experts are checking the facts, verifying the truth for you. Jump up now to shows. Very excited about this. Oh, look, it's Take a Look. This is my show. I love movies, and if you love movies or streaming shows, whether it's on screens this big, or this big, it's Take a Look. Recently went behind the scenes, sat down with Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix to talk about Joker 2. I love the movie, and oh, I just heard you shout you hate the movie. Jump in, we talk about it on this show. Other shows, Bartell's Backroads, go up and down the state of California, tank of gas getaways, one fuel cell getaway, like places like the Toy Museum. This is what kids did before they had screens. Over here, the Moaning Caverns of Calaveras County, one of the most coveted caves in all of California. You know, watching this show, I discovered there's a cave that could fit the entire Statue of Liberty in your own backyard. You'll find about that and more with Bartell's Backroads. Down below that, To The Point. It is one of my favorite newscasts because they talk about news with Alex Bell the way you talk about news. It's conversational, but in-depth at the same time. Below that, Your California Life. Love this show. Whether it's entertainment, food, beverage, lifestyle, it's there. Desiree Shepherd hosts and does an amazing job. So there you have it. It's ABC 10 Plus, the app. What do you need? We heard you and we got it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for streaming.